Welcome everybody to a new view on travel. This is our 20th episode. I was getting ahead of myself the last time we did the show thinking it was then, but we'd like to welcome you back. And I'm Sherry Coleman, the manager of Robert Key Travel in Goderich.
I'm Tammy Prost with Tropical Escapes, Destination Weddings and Travel Inc. in Saskatchewan.
And I'm Christine Turner from escapes.ca, and I'm here in sunny, yay, no more snow, Vancouver.
Lucky, we got another dump last night.
Exactly. Oh, it's so cold. I'm not as cold as you, Tammy, but it is cold.
We're warming up, but it's, now we just another dump of snow last night. So it's just like, it's not ending anytime soon.
Right.
It's supposed to go to 0 this weekend. So it's like so extremes.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Saskatchewan.
Good old Saskatchewan. The place to be.
Yeah.
In today's show, we'll be giving you the rundown on the latest travel restrictions, cruising, some new cruising features, new resort openings to watch out for in 2022. And Christine, I want you to talk to us or the audience about the get out of free jail cards.
Yes, we will cover that off later in the show, so stay with us. And basically this is how you are going to know that you can go to Mexico or wherever and you can travel for free. Well, not travel for free, but you can be guaranteed that you are not going to have to do quarantine at the end of it. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. In case you missed it, this week, North American Airlines are seeing thousands of canceled flights due to the new COVID variant, either causing passenger cancellations or crew shortages due to being having tested positive or having to quarantine. WestJet has dropped 15% of its January flights. Air Transat has canceled 30% of their flight capacity until the end of February. It doesn't really impact anything west of Toronto since they do not have service those areas any longer. So Sunwing has canceled flights from Moncton and Fredericton, but hasn't notified impacted travelers yet. Air Canada has dropped some specific Caribbean routes until the end of April due to the exceedingly low demand, and Mexico and other key destinations do remain in service. I've noticed from some of my cancellations that Mexico and like the major tourist areas like Cancun, the Mayan Riviera, Punta Cana, like those standard well-known areas are getting a lot more traffic. So they're canceling the ones that like Puerto Plata, that's, not maybe just as popular because, So Canadian airports have stepped up testing for all inbound international flights, with the dominant testing option being a take-home test. Results are taking as few as 2 days, as many as 7, depending on where you're located.
And that is because it has to go to BC for testing.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it has to go to BC the test has to go to BC for the testing, which makes absolutely no sense.
No.
I wonder if that's because we're doing the genome sequencing. And the whole thing is they wanted to know if it's Omicron or not. And maybe that can't be done other places. I mean, because we've got the BC CDC here, so they're pretty slick with what they can do. And they're supposedly checking old tests for Omicron. So they're doing the genome sequencing on every single test, which is 20,000 a day. Like, who are these people? Superhuman?
Yeah.
But then
Exactly.
still, why not have the province do the testing in the province of the passenger coming back, and then that testing center can ship all those weekly or whatever to BC to do their reports or whatever. Like it.
Sure.
Yeah.
In other words, there's got to be a better way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and it's been postulated as well that because everybody is testing positive and the majority of cases are Omicron, and it's not like we need to worry about Omicron coming in because that variant is,
it's here.
Quite frankly, it's here.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are saying, well, why are they not transferring those tests instead of doing the testing at the airport? Why are they not doing set up daily testing at schools or care
Yeah.
homes or something like that. I'm just thinking possibly that time and effort could be spent a little bit better.
Right. Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you're
be
watching
sure.
this and you agree, write to your MP. Get on board.
That's right.
Oh, that's funny. The US CDC has added Canada to their list of countries to avoid traveling, but amid threats to close the border to Canadians, American politicians have rallied to keep those doors open.
Yay.
Yeah. So, Tammy, why don't you continue on with what's going on down south and around?
And down, yeah. So the UK has boldly gone where no other country has gone before, removing the requirements for pre-arrival testing. That's right, folks. No PCR testing required, at least for Canadians and select other countries, as long as you are fully vaccinated. So now you can head on over to UK with no other PCR testing required, and without no testing required. It's also official that Mexico is no longer going to require the health questionnaire form to be completed. This was something that you needed to do arriving and departing. So they've scrapped that, which just makes it one less thing to have to worry about. All that's required now is just your tourist visa, and that's to be completed, which can be completed online if your passport is valid for at least 6 months or more, or it can be filled out on paper in the air, and usually your airline will provide that to you on the plane, and then just the customs form, which again too is provided to you on the plane. Other than that, masks are now mandatory at Universal Orlando for all staff and guests in public indoor areas regarding a vaccination status. Adele is going to hit the Las Vegas Strip, taking up residence at the Caesar Palace and offering shows per weekend through April 16. Show tickets on StubHub are going for US 500 and up each.
Per seat. Per seat.
I wouldn't pay
Per
500
seat.
US to see Adele.
You would or would not?
Would not.
I'm not
No.
a big Adele fan, so yeah, but there you have it. Adele's performing. She does look fabulous, though. I do have
She
to
sure
say,
does.
I saw her on a show there, not I think around Christmas time, Oprah, and yeah, she looks fabulous. So good on her. Cuba has eliminated their hotel hospitals. Last year, guests who had tested positive were required to quarantine in a government facility. But since then, the tourism minister has changed the rules, so guests can now remain at their resort in a different section or block at the resort. So that's another good positive, to feel that you can be comfortable when traveling to Cuba. And many other countries are now adding that the booster, as well as fully vaccinations to their tourist requirements. Places like museums and bars, France and the Netherlands, as well as parts of Hawaii, including Maui, will require tourists to have their booster shot. And then Belize,
Get it.
yeah, I got mine. We did it a couple of weeks ago, so yeah, we're good to go.
Yep,
And Belize is now going to require travelers to purchase mandatory Belize travel health insurance starting in February, and it's going to cost $18 US. So there's another. Yeah, and that is kind of all I have for destinations.
Awesome. Christine, why don't you, excuse me, why don't you jump into the cruising?
Sure. Yeah, there's we've got some cruise news, and we've got a bunch of new resorts opening. So this is pretty exciting. It's interesting to see how well things are bouncing back after all of this. We've got some brand new resorts that are opening up this year. Some family-friendly properties. We've got a brand new resort, all-inclusive, opening up in South America, and that is Dreams Cartagena. So that's pretty exciting. So obviously that's family-friendly. There's also Dreams Cozumel Cape Resort, which is set to open sometime early this spring. And Zoetree, which is luxury, but it is actually family-friendly, has got a brand new all-inclusive resort in Curacao, and that's going to open later this spring. It's co-located beside Dreams Curacao. If you are staying at Zoetree, you could go to Dreams, but not vice versa. But it's actually in a really good location. It's just sort of north northwest of the downtown area of Curaçao, which is, you know, those pictures you see of those colorful buildings.
Yeah.
I have a photo of it. It doesn't look anything like that. But it is very, very interesting downtown. So it's definitely worth checking out. And then we've got some adult only properties that are opening up. We've got Sandals Curaçao, and that's set to open in April. Now that is actually way down south. So most people, when they go to Sandals, they tend to stay on property. So it's probably not a big deal. And then there's the new Hyatt Zilara Riviera Cancun that is rumored to be opening in April, but I haven't seen any official word of that, so we will just have to wait and see. And then of course Secrets Moshki is opening in spring, and that's going to be a brand new all-inclusive resort in Playa del Carmen. Moving over to cruising, we've got Norwegian Cruise Lines that is going to be restarting their Hawaii cruises. So of course they started in Honolulu and they hit a few of the other islands, and then they go back to Honolulu because they're an American registered ship. So that's pretty exciting. The US CDC has once again raised the warning for cruising to be level 4, which for American citizens, this is again just an advisory, or they're urging people not to cruise, regardless of your vaccination status. So in other words, it's not okay to be on a ship that has approximately 2,000 other fully vaccinated and recently tested people, but it is okay to go to the National College Championship final in Indianapolis with 68,000 other people in the stadium who don't have to be vaccinated, don't have to show a negative test result, and masking is optional.
Yeah.
So contradictory, maybe.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah. So you do you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so you guys all heard about the party plane?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Facepalm.
Canada
Crazy.
once again has made international news when a party plane full of social media influencers posted videos of themselves body surfing over seats, drinking their own alcohol and vaping. About 30 of them have managed to return to Canada, allowing them on the plane. But there are quite a few still down there where I believe Air Canada and Air Transat said, no, you're not allowed on our plane. It's funny because it's entirely illegal to consume your own alcohol on a plane, nor can you smoke, nor can you vape. So what makes
isn't
you
new.
guys think that they can?
Yeah.
I mean, they did charter the plane, so maybe they thought that the rules were slightly different, but I mean, but they're not.
It's not a private jet.
Yeah.
They don't own it. They have to follow Transport Canada's rules.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And abide by what the flight attendants have to say about, and they weren't listening to anybody. They were taking over that plane, and it's good on
allegedly.
Right.
Allegedly, yeah.
Yeah.
I applaud Sunwing, Transat, Air Canada, any airline that banned them, and I hope they put them on the no-fly zone. They're boneheads.
Yeah.
And deserve it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and I mean, the thing is, they're stuck down there now. Some of them have since tested positive with COVID. I did read that Sunwing, which is who they had chartered the plane through, did offer to bring them home. They did say initially, okay, but you guys have to sign this contract, certain terms and conditions. And one of the conditions was they weren't going to serve them food. And so their response was, that's not possible. It's a 5-hour flight. How could we survive without food? Let me tell you something, folks. If you want to fly to Cancun from Vancouver or Calgary, or probably even Saskatchewan, it's a 5-hour plus flight. It's actually 6.5 for us. Thank you very much. Yeah. And if you're not in a premium seat, you're getting pretzels, and that's it. So suck it up, Buttercup. Buy some food at the airport like everybody else does. I mean, but no, they said no, absolutely not. So you know, they couldn't suffer that hardship to get home. So
I hope they come down on them. I hope they make an example of what you're not supposed to do. We haven't been able to do this in 30 years or more. Right. So
And they're facing fines of $5,000 or more. Some of them, if they were putting the plane at risk, such as vaping and stuff like that, then they could be facing fines of $100,000 and they could be facing jail time.
Yeah.
So all the ones who've come home are in this scenario.
Yeah.
And the ones who are still down there doesn't mean they're not being investigated.
Yeah.
No, they could still get home if some American or Mexican airline decides to bring them home. But even if they do, this potential penalty is awaiting them.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
should be.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I agree. Totally.
Crazy.
It is. Christine, do you want to talk to us about the get out of jail free card?
I'd love to.
Okay.
So it's been a little bit confusing with respect to the PCR testing and stuff like that. And I will say freely that a month ago, I was happily in Cancun, Mexico, and nobody was testing positive. I would ask on the travel agent forums, of which I belong to too many of them, probably about 18 of them, has anyone got anyone testing positive? And the answers were by and large, no. And what's changed is with Omicron now, I mean, it's everywhere. So people are testing positive. Are they getting sick? Not necessarily.
Right.
But they are testing positive. So the thing is, folks, if you've been sick with COVID and you have this documented on your health record and you've recovered, and it's been within, say, 5 months, you can travel to Mexico and you don't need a PCR test to come home because you have proof of a positive test, which as of tomorrow, as long as it's more than 10 days old, but less than 180 when you're coming home to Canada, you must be within that window of your arrival.
Right.
As long as you tested positive within that time frame, you are fully vaccinated and you are not showing any symptoms. You not only don't have to pay for a PCR test, which is a pretty massive savings,
yeah,
but you also will not have to quarantine because you've tested positive.
Right.
Now, this is specific, I will say, to Canada and the US. In the UK, for example, if you are watching, thank you. However, this doesn't apply to you, so move on. Because the UK doesn't recognize that. In the UK, their feeling is that you could have become sick again. And of course, we believe that that is true. So it's a bit of a flaw in the system, but nonetheless, it is what it is. So
Right.
if you have tested positive in the last, say, 5 months, and you're planning on going away to Mexico in the next 2 weeks, you're good to go.
Free to go.
You are good to go. You don't need to worry about extra time off unless you get sick. I mean, if you get sick, you get sick. Then you are going to have to quarantine. But I don't know. And I'm kind of wishing I had COVID.
Just not paying that tax. It's paying for that $150 test is enough right there, right?
Yeah.
Well, and then the added stresses. When are you going to get the test? Is it going to get there in enough time? And and then
it eliminates that stress for the people that have had COVID.
So if you're watching this and you've had COVID, you're fully vaccinated,
have fun.
Give us a call.
Call your travel agent.
Exactly. Oh, that's good. That's that's nice. It's nice to see that.
Hey, it's nice to have something positive happen.
Exactly.
Days,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. If you end up getting it, at least now you know you can open up your horizons and start to travel. And
yeah, that's good.
Absolutely.
You don't feel stuck at home anymore.
Yeah.
Tammy, what about our national days and fun facts? What do you got for us?
we have January 1st was National Bloody Mary Day.
Woo-hoo, cheers.
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 Salute.
Cheers.
January 3rd was National Drink and Straw Day. And actually, do you know how to say straw in Spanish?
No.
And Christine, you're gonna have to tell me.
So in
I
Mexico,
asked for that before.
straw is popote, Popote, popote. And if you are in the Dominican and you ask for popote, they're like, what are you talking about? The word they use is sorbete. And I don't know how to spell that. I think it's kind of like sorbet,
Right.
but sorbete. So
Yep.
Capote. Huh. And that's weird because they're both Spanish. So why they would be a different dialect?
Yeah.
Interesting. So yes, and then tomorrow is National Hat Day, and
Woohoo.
on the 16th is National Hot and Spicy Food Day. So caliente, picante, picante.
Picante.
Isn't that's hot and spicy, I think, in Spanish.
You got it.
And that, I believe, is all. Oh, and then we on the 24th is National Beer Can Appreciation Day. So
What do you think that means?
Beer can.
Want to
Like that
appreciate
people appreciate that they
cans.
can have beer in a can?
As opposed on tap? Yeah, I don't know, or in a bottle.
It's an
Yeah, I don't know.
entitlement.
We'll have to look into that and see if we can find a reasoning behind that.
Indeed.
And then that is all I have for National Days and Fun Facts.
Awesome. Good stuff. Well, coming up on our next show, which will be January 24th, we hope to be talking about the lifting of the travel advisory level 3. I don't know what they're going to do, but and how things would worked out with the UK removing their pre-testing requirements. It'll be interesting to see how they do that or how they get along with it. So yeah, and there'll be a ton more travel news, I'm sure, in the next 2 weeks as it floods our inbox, hopefully. And I think that's it. That's a wrap. So if you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like us on our YouTube channel, New View on Travel, and Tammy, our Facebook page
is Facebook/group/A New View on Travel. So like our page and give us a thumbs up.
You bet. All righty. Well, I hope you guys have a great weekend.
Thanks for watching.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye.
Yes.